Good morning, campers. We're at the Church Farm, Skegness, and here we are with the mayor again. It's English Civil War today. If you haven't been down, you don't know really what you're missing. Mr. Mayor, over to you.
Absolutely fantastic. I've seen the muskets being fired. I've met all the lovely older people. What do you call them, older people? Olden days people and the younger people who are from the older days.
People, though.
Oh, you know what I mean. But no, it's absolutely fantastic. I've really enjoyed it. There's lots to see. It's brilliant. You want to get yourself down here and have a little look-see.
Obviously they have events on here all the time. What can you say to people, what haven't been?
It's like a little gem, this is in Skegness, to be honest. The village, Church Farm, it's absolutely fantastic. They do different events throughout the summer. They even produce some honey here, which is great as well. So come along, if you've not been, come and have a look. It's a little gem.
There you have it, out of the mouth of the Mayor of Skegness. We'll say mouth, I'm not wrong for that. Miss it, it's your own fault.
Brilliant.
The sergeant is going to be putting the musketeers through their postures by instruction. That's from the drill book. They're now giving rest to their muskets. They're opening the pan. This is where the fine grain black powder goes. That will set off the main charge in the barrel. They're now handling the primer. This is a larger flask on the bandolier that goes over his shoulder. This is fine grain priming powder. They're now priming the pan. They're closing the pan now. They're now casting off and blowing off any loose grains of gunpowder. They're now casting about their musket and going to be commencing the loading of the shot procedure. Now, handling your charge, if you look, some of the musketeers have got a belt with wooden bottles on it. This is known as a bandolier. On this, there's 12 wooden bottles, so they have 12 shots. They've now loaded from the bandoliers an amount of powder. They've put a musket ball and wadding down the barrel. They're now going to ram home to make sure it's tight within the barrel. Now this is not a ramrod, it was called a scouring stick. They're now returning it to where it's normally kept. Now, they're handling the match. This is before the flint lock. And this is match boiled in sulphur and other unmentionable items, and it's guaranteed to stay alight. They're now trying the match to make sure it's going to, when they pull the trigger, to go into the pan. So, anybody who's got sensitive ears, put their hands over their ears and open their mouths. It should be okay, but it's just a precaution. They're about to fire. And that's a lovely smell when it gets close to you. Now, of course, they can't do it by instruction on the battlefield, so very shortly, the senior musketeers is going to give the order to make ready. Ready! So they've learned by the drill book how to fire. This now is what they would use in a battlefield situation. Right, we're just waiting for everyone to make sure they're complete and safe and ready to fire, so they're going to be firing again in a few seconds. They're about to give fire. You know, musketeers, when we're on a big event, there could be up to 300 of them. It takes a week's worth of showers to get rid of the smell of black powder. Not the nicest thing. What happened there is that it didn't go off on his first attempt, so he's got to clear the gun and make safe. They're now loading again, or making ready, I should say. Please do not use the term ladies in the presence of those two. What have you done, ladies? Worked your way through the streets of Skegness last night? Yes. Yeah, I thought so. It's all right. I'll let you know. I'll let you know when they're going to fire. So what you do? When you do, you put your hands on your ears.
You want future musketeer, future fighting.
Even I don't get stickers. No, I don't get stickers.
You did let us know.
That's the musketeer.
Sorry.
That's all right.
They're about to fire again. They're now doing what's firing by ranks, maintaining ground. They're going to fire now.
It's just loud, there's no real bullets in it.
Yeah?
You know that then.
Yeah, it's not fun.
Stick the big one. You have all of them.
Yes, please. We collected the two, don't we? We have books. We have a book at home that we stick all our stickers that we get into. You want me to?
Shortly, the officer is going to inform me of what they are going to do next. What they are going to commence in a minute, ladies and gentlemen, is firing by ranks gaining ground. So when the first rank fires, they will face their right hand, go to the rear. The other rank will come back, double the space, so they're gaining ground upon the enemy. Well done. Well done. They're about to fire again. And remember what I said, open your mouth.
We're from Northampton, but we're here every weekend and every holiday.
Come and see me in the tent. If you want to chat more about it,
They will be firing again, they're just making ready.
No.
I wondered where you were, Blanche. Shout something out, are you there? Come on. Yeah.
Firing again.
Second rank. Step forward 6 paces.
The second rank are now moving forward 6 spaces, so they are gaining ground upon the enemy.
Real life. There would be a big block of people in cloaks at 60. On the side of them would be a block of every single one. There would be six for every 2 of those, 2 men who see the cloak. Steep.
Oh, they're from outside, don't they? Yeah.
That's what they're doing now.
I know what you mean.
Imagine there's 4 more ranks. They're stepping forwards. Do you know
The officer is going to inform me what they're going to be doing next.
about 2 years in?
They're all going to very shortly all fire again, ladies and gentlemen. We may have a misfire, ladies and gentlemen, if you can just bear with us.
Which is the Spanish version of that.
You're dismissing. Can you see me afterwards? Right, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to thank the Musketeers for a very noisy display there. Very well done.
Huzzah! Huzzah! Huzzah for the rude mechanicals!
Part. And the officer cannot make his voice heard over the sound of muskets firing and other noise of conflict. So they had their drummers, who were quite highly educated people, spoke various languages, and they had what was known as the 6 calls of war, which the troops knew what sound each read and how to act upon it. First of all, the drummer I'm going to ask is to do the call. This is to bring the soldiers to come and stand with their officers and form their company. Sound the call. So if you can imagine, the soldiers have now formed up upon their colours, which is the person who, as you would call, carrying the flag. They're now formed up and they're ready to march off. So what they would do first would be to sound the preparative. The preparative is to bring their arms, the pikes and muskets to their soldiers and prepare to march on. The next I'm going to ask the drummer to do is to sound the preparative and march. So that's the preparative, bringing the arms to the readiness and then marching on. So that was the preparative march. They have now marched on in column, which starts one line going forward. They now can sight the enemy, so they're going to form what's known as line of division and prepare to troop on in line. So I'm going to ask the drummer now to sound the troop. So they've now formed line and marching upon the enemy, and they are soon going to come to contact. So the drummer will sound what is known as the battle. This will mean the musketeers will use the form club their muskets, and the pikes will be lowered down to the charge. Sound the battle! So they've now attacked, they've fallen on upon the enemy. Now, they want to retire in good order. That's not running away from the enemy, it's retiring in good order so you can reform your ranks and files and attack again. But the call is known as the retreat. So I'm going to ask the drummer to sound the retreat. So that was the 6 calls and wardlet, ladies and gentlemen. I think she deserves a round of applause. Thank you. I think that's well done for the ensign in very windy conditions. Right, very short. When you've finished, on the wall up, 18 inches down from the pike head in metal strips.
Have a care, I am going to do my pike first to check the barrier. Ground your pikes.
They're now grounding their pikes. This is the same as the musketeers. They're drilling by instruction, drilling from the drill book in modern terms.
Cover. Pay attention to your right hand. Handle your pike.
They're now handling the pike.
Recover your pike to advance.
They're now recovering to the advance.
Order your pike.
They're now ordering the pike.
Advance your pike.
They're now returning to the advance.
Shoulder your pike.
They're now going to the shoulder. This was the posture that was normally used on the march.
port your pike.
They're now porting their pike. This is the position that shoots before going to the charge.
All be at the same height for your pike heads. Charge your pikes.
Now to go into the charge, this is the offensive posture.
Lunge. Ah! Lunge. Ah! Lunge. Ah!
I don't know about you, ladies and gentlemen, that scares me.
Advance your pike.
Now returning to the advance.
Order your pike.
Now returning to the order.
Trail your pike.
They're now trailing the pike. This was used if they were marching through woodland. As you can imagine, they couldn't afford to get the pikes caught up in the branches, so they went to the trail.
Cheek your pike.
They're now cheeking the pike. This is normally used as a guarding posture.
Charge your pike.
Because in this position, they could immediately go to the charge.
Lunge. Ah! Lunge. Ah! Lunge. Ah! Advance your pike.
Now returning to the advance,
Shoulder your pike.
and now to the shoulder.
Care. Charge your pike to the rear.
Now imagine they're going to be attacked from behind. They immediately charge their pikes to the rear.
Lunge. Yeah. Lunge. Ah! Lunge. Ah! Recover your pike to the shoulder.
They're now recovering their pikes to the shoulder.
Advance your pike.
Returning to the advance. Remember, this is by the drill book.
Order your pike to close order.
They're now going to their closest order, so they put the pike on the inside of their right foot. They're about to receive a desperate charge of horse.
Charge your pike to the horse and draw forth your sword.
So you can imagine, no horse is going to run onto a forest of these pikes like this. And if one does get to, they have the sword in hand, where easy to cut them down.
Recover your pike and put up your sword.
They're now recovering the pikes of the order and returning their swords.
What is complete, sir?
Are you just going to keep the pikes here? Where are you going to put them? Inspect this fine body of men.
Lay the preparative. March on. Turn. Halt. Stand.
I feel sorry for the mayor having to hold this lady's hand. No, it couldn't.
Watch, look. Still point forward.
I love it. That's what I love about
Don't
it.
matter what you do, it can fall over.
Yeah. You've not tried it yet, look.
Order your pikes. Order your arms. Once the head